Health tip, guys. This is a mental health tip. I'm working here out at the Big E, and had a client in my chair who was a social worker, and we started talking about things that happen in the world and how we're becoming more overwhelmed through many different mechanisms. These cell phones that I'm recording this message on right now is one of those. The towers, the chemtrails, the social media and media, movies, TV, and everything. And it can be a little overwhelming for everybody. So it's a good idea to just disconnect for a while, go camping or something. So that's the first thing, and it's going to be the purveying message of this particular message to you: disconnect. So that's the first thing. You're starting to feel overwhelmed with all of it. Maybe your energy is feeling a little bit wonky or off or down or low. Disconnect. I was talking to another friend last night, and he was like, oh, my wife's feeling dizzy and she can hear a buzzing coming from the 5G tower. So I talked to him about how he can do grounding sheets, grounding pillowcases in his house, maybe put up a little bit of copper around his bed. Copper can diffuse the EMF signals. You can get an EMF mat. Those are a little expensive, but well worth it. And at night, turn off your Wi-Fi and turn off your phones into airplane mode. Now, that's the first message to this message in this message. How do you like all those messages? So, the social media worker, and she wasn't a social media worker, I apologize, she's a social worker. And we were just talking about social media and the effect it has on children. She was a school counselor, social worker. So we were talking about bullying. And if you've watched one of my other channels, you know that I was bullied through my life. I went to 15 different schools, 15 different schools from middle to high school. And every school I went to, I was the new kid on the block. And I don't know how many of you remember the 70s and the 80s, but those were not really good times for kids in many regards. And in this regard, it was about bullying, true bullying. Now, this was the debate we were having, and I know this is a hot topic. So, in today's world, kids apparently feel overwhelmed because they got a boatload of negative comments, hate comments coming to them on their social media feeds, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they have a lot of shaming for whatever that shaming is. And so they feel overwhelmed, maybe want to commit suicide like I wanted to so long ago. And I get that this is bad. You're in a period of life that's kind of turned upside down, emotionally wise and chemically wise, especially as a teenager. So here's the thing though, and I'm going to stick to this. In this world, this modern world, and you're going to tell me that, oh, I'm being bullied. Okay, how are you being bullied? Well, they sent comments to me on Facebook, and they all hated on me. Oh, okay. Well, you know how to fix that. Turn it off. Turn off your social media. Oh, I know that's death and destruction. No, it's not. Turn off your social media, guys. You don't like what they're saying to you? Turn it off. Me, when I was bullied, and I'm 53 this year, when I was bullied, I came home with bruises, broken bones. I have been in the hospital more times than I can count because of what a bully did to me. Broke shoulders, broke arms, broke legs, broke ribs, broke my nose. And I've had police involvement. I've had parental involvement and many other factors. And you think I wanted to go to school? You think I didn't want to commit suicide? Every time we moved, because my father got a new job somewhere else, I had to go through this. I had to go through being pushed and shoved and stuffed in lockers, bent and broken, hospitalized, all because somebody didn't like whatever. Didn't like who I was, didn't like how small I was, didn't like how skinny I was, didn't like the hair that I had, didn't like that I was just new, didn't like that maybe some of their friends liked me, and I was so new. There's 1,000 reasons, and bullies don't need reasons. Bullies are just bullies. Bullies are assholes. And back in those days, I couldn't turn it off. God, I wished I could have. But I couldn't. You know, I still had to go to school, right? It's another discussion that we'll talk about later. Do we have to go to school? So, yeah, I couldn't turn it off. I went different routes. I skipped school every now and again. But that was it. You know, the truant officer comes, knocks on the door and says, you're missing school. Try to tell him. And back then, it's the same as today. You cannot say, oh, there's a bully. Oh, great. What did he do to you? Well, look, black eye, look, bloody nose. Look, broken arm. Look, broken fingers. Broken rib. And still, nothing came of this. Any school I ever went to, nothing. So, today's world, God, how I wish it was just somebody screaming at me on Facebook, Instagram, text message. Fuck that phone. It is not worth your life. It's not worth anything. And I know you feel peer pressure and you feel like, oh God, I have to have the social media or I'm not going to live. You will. Turn off the social media. That's it, guys. Turn it off. If you're having a hard time and you're a parent and you're watching this and you're like, you don't understand, I have to keep in contact with my child. Great. There's what's called dumb phones. You don't need these phones that have the feeds to all the stuff that's hurting your child. Give them a dumb phone. Who gives a flying rip if some kid's going to give them shit because they don't have the latest technology? This latest technology is causing a tragedy, a series of tragedies, and I'm growing very, very tired of it. Our children are becoming different human beings because of social media, because of these smartphones. We need to turn this around. We need to fix it. We need to stop it. And to stop it, let's get rid of it. How about that, guys? You're not going to like this message. I know you're not. But it's the truth. It's the reality. If you want your kids to be sane, healthy, not bullied, not overwhelmed, give them a dumb phone.